Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw results and superstar spoilers I did not find. Okay, WWE has added a full schedule for WrestleMania 30 access at the video link that I'll post. It's worth noting that all the premium VIP signings are sold out except for Hulk Hogan. New names added to access, including Ricky Dragon Steamboat, Trish Stratus, who is now going to be Lita's inductor, and also Mick Foley. WWE Slam City series of books for kids will begin releasing in August. The latest WWE NXT Power Rankings have been released, and it's worth noting because they give you an idea of where WWE sees the current developmental stars. The rankings of March look like this. Number 10, Mojo Rawley. Number 9, Charlotte. Number 8, Aiden English. Number 7, Adam Rose. 6, Sami Zayn. 5, Bo Dallas. 4, Paige. 3 is The Ascension. It's a tag team. Number 2, Alexander Rusev is already on the current roster. Number 1, Adrian Neville. And an update from earlier. It's not just the cast of WWE Total Divas that is in New Orleans filming footage this week. Billy Moniz sent word that the WWE filmed a Mardi Gras themed parade for WrestleMania 30 commercial on Bourbon Street on a few days ago. Stars in the commercial including Fandango, Summer Rae, Kofi Kingston, Sheamus, Big Show, Bella Twins, and possibly Darren Young. No word yet on when the commercial will debut. Shimmer 62 main event has been signed. The main event for Shimmer 62 in New Orleans has been signed, and cheerleader Melissa will put on the title against super hardcore anime Lufisto in a 2 out of 3 falls match with 90-minute time limit. Melissa and Lufisto first battled against one another back in Shimmer 20 in 2008. Any match that earned Shimmer Match of the Year honors based on fan voting that year. 40 shows later in Shimmer 60, this past October, the two face off once again, but this time Melissa was Shimmer champion, and the title was on the line during the events leading up to the Shimmer 60 match. Lufisto and Melissa had to be separated by officials following altercations prompted by Melissa continuing to beat down her challengers post-match. After successfully retaining her Shimmer championship, Lufisto came to the aid of challengers Leva Bates and Hiro Matsumoto, as well as retired Shimmer competitor Allison Danger, saving them from further attack by Melissa. The Shimmer 60 battle saw Melissa retain the title, but in the process, Lufisto bloodied the Shimmer champion to the extent that Melissa had to be rushed to the hospital following the match, requiring 10 stitches to close a laceration above her eye. The injury forced Melissa onto the sidelines for Shimmer 61, ending her impressive run of competing on every Shimmer event since the promotion opened its doors in 2005. For those who don't know, she was formerly in TNA, Alyssa Flash, I should say. Shimmer 61 main event saw the Latina sensation Mercedes Martinez continue her own personal rivalry against Lufisto, which has raged throughout the women's wrestling scene for the past several years. In a wild no disqualification falls count anywhere match, the instructions from Melissa to take Lufisto out of commission in the process, Shimmer 61 concluded with a bandaged up Melissa laying out Lufisto with the Shimmer Championship belt, sending a message that she is out for revenge for Lufisto putting her in the hospital. With Melissa eager to get her hands on Lufisto once again for some payback, Lufisto looking for another opportunity at the Shimmer Championship. The Shimmer officials have thus signed a rematch between cheerleader Melissa and Lufisto for Shimmer 62 in New Orleans. The match has the added twist of one of the competitors must defeat their opponent. not once but twice in the same match in order to be declared the victor. Don't miss your little Melissa versus Mephisto in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the Shimmer Championship on April 5th in New Orleans. Several ways to catch all the action if you can't be in New Orleans at McAllister Auditorium in person. On April the 5th, you can still have the opportunity to see all the action of Shimmer 62 on your computer. As was the case for Mania Weekend show last year, Shimmer 62 will be just one of several events under WWN Live umbrella that weekend, along with Dragon Gate USA, Evolve, and the Wrestling Odyssey, and Kaju Big Batel. Each of these events will be available at WWNlive.com via internet pay-per-views. Also, much like last year for Shimmer 53 in New Jersey, Shimmer Video On Demand partner ClickWrestle.com will be hosting the Shimmer 62 matches for download following the event. Thus, you have several ways to see Shimmer 62 during one of the biggest weekends of 2014 for wrestling fans. Don't miss it. Featuring your women wrestling premiere showing The Lady Wrestler, the movie. The Lady Wrestler will have their premiere showing Friday, April 4th in Ocala, Florida at 7 Sisters Inn. The Lady Wrestler is produced by Marty Funk and stars Dory Funk Jr., Hollywood Heather, Jessica, Powerhouse Hill, Claudia the Claw Rafe, Johnny Magnum, Ryan Passmore, Hector, Tano, Alicia, Noah Macer, and Moose McNamara. For more info, go to dory-funk.com. The Lady Wrestler premieres April the 4th. Schedule of event 5 to 6 p.m. Champagne and movie treats for those that pay a price. Reviewing, walking the red carpet with Hollywood Heather and Dory Funk Jr., stars of the Lady Wrestlers. Okay, movie showing is 6 p.m. to 6:30. Premiere first showing, The Lady Wrestler Champagne, is 6:30 to 7. Autographs, photos with the stars of the movie starting at 7 to 7:30. And premiere second showing, 7:30 to 8 p.m. Filming scenes for The Lady Wrestler 2, The Lady Wrestler Champagne Treats. Also, visit Dory and Marty Funk on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or get an autographed photo of Dory Funk. And I'll also post a link there. Chris Jericho noted on Twitter that he filmed an interview for the upcoming Blood-Sucking Freaks on Blu-ray. He talked about why he chose the name Ralphus for his WCW sidekick. It was noted in a recent Emma interview from the Herald in Australia that there is a decree pinned to a notice board at the WWE Performance Center that bans the use of baby oil at events. Apparently because it doesn't look good on HD TV. Goldust was upset backstage after being busted open on this past Monday Night Raw by Fandango in a match. He received minor medical attention to close the cut. Regarding missing pay-per-views on the WWE Network, word is that some have been temporarily taken down to make music and other type of edits. Notice that also heard from other fans that have been told by network customer service representatives that a ton of new content will be added before the end of the month. Former WWE and TNA talent Cassidy Riley will be appearing on the season finale of A&E Duck Dynasty on March the 26th. Well, the 26th was yesterday, because I'm doing this report kind of late. John Cena will be appearing on this coming Monday's Live with Kelly and Michael to promote WWE's WrestleMania 30 pay-per-view. The show airs from 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on ABC. Noted before that there is still a plan in place for the Shield to split up. The plan is for Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose to play the heel tag team, while Roman Reigns will be booked as the top singles babyface. The apparent babyface turn by the Shield on Raw was done to accomplish two things. Allow the New Age Outlaws to work a program with them, which they requested, and to be better set up Reigns' big singles run. The idea behind better setting up Reigns. Singles is that it's better for Ambrose and Rollins to turn on Reigns than it is for Reigns to turn on them. JBL, Michael Cole, Jr., Bella Twins, Titus O'Neil, and Dolph Ziggler filmed a WWE themed episode of Ease the Suit. No word on yet when it will air. After the last week of WWE NXT tapings, Adam Rose came out to a new theme song, and that was seen on the last episode of NXT. Word is that he got a new theme song because WWE didn't secure the rights to the theme he debuted with Above Envy's World Goes Wild. Apparently officials didn't think the song would catch on so fast. Thanks to Philip Lex Libran. Just wanted to share our world premiere for info for Meet Me There, which stars Goldust, real name, Justin Runnels, and a screening on Friday, April 4th at 11:59 p.m., that's 1 minute before midnight, at the Prytania Theater as part of the Filmorama Film Festival. Tickets go on sale. I'll post that link there. And you can find out more about the film at this and see the new Red Band trailer at this link. Justin will be joining the director and the rest of the cast and crew for post-screening questions and answers, and the first 100 people in attendance will receive an exclusive poster. Colt Cabana recently spoke with Baltimore Sun and talked about why things didn't work out with him and the WWE. Well, it didn't work out because management said creative didn't have anything for me. Then I went out and did a web series making the answers they gave me. It was maybe with the big corporate structure that I got lost underneath the pile of people. And then he laughs. That doesn't sound good, piles of people, but I spent 2 years under contract with WWE. About a year and 3 months later, I was brought up to the main roster in 2009. When I was brought up, I wasn't brought up in a predominant role at all. I was kind of brought up as a guy really to lose matches, which was weird because they don't have contracted enhancement wrestlers. For the most part, every contracted wrestler they have is a superstar, of course. That's an interesting fact when some of the guys like myself and Gavin Spears and Ryan Braddock are just kind of brought up to lose. But that was a different time back then, and now I think they've seen the errors of their ways from that generation. A lot of us took the bullet, but I'm glad that because of the way that they handled developmental at the time, that they have a good grasp on it now. You can see the great things that they're doing with some of the guys and the way they bring up people with NXT talent. So maybe we are a part of an experimental process and developmental. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be one of the guys on NXT or whatnot, but luckily enough for me, because of my past, people are able to succeed in that system. Former WWE star Scotty 2 Hotty recently spoke with Brian Fritz of the Orlando Sentinel, and here are some of the highlights on that. Getting back into wrestling after old school Raw. I realized last year I went to fire school and EMT school and graduated both of those. Finished up and started looking for a job. I thought that I was out of wrestling. Then I got a call to old school Raw, and doing that and being there for one day, I realized I know I can still go. I don't want to be that guy embarrassing himself. I know I can still go. I'm in better shape now than I was last time. I was there full time. And you just know there's probably only a few more years left in me where I can go and do this and the level I want to do it. I started taking a little bit more bookings. I've said this. I said for the past few years, I'm just using this as a vehicle to take me to different places I've never been anyways. I just went to Ecuador for the first time ever, South America for the first time ever, stuff like that. I tell my kids, I found a job that's going to pay you to travel the world on someone else's dime, and that's basically what I use it for now. Any comments on working with WWE? You know, that's so cool wrestling for them now. When you're there as a full-time guy and you're wrestling 4 nights a week, you kind of take it for granted. Everything is going 100 miles an hour. Whereas now, like when it was back in old school, for old school Raw, you go, this could be the last time, and you kind of appreciate it more now. You take it all in, the same thing for NXT. This could be the last time in the WWE ring. Hopefully it's not, and chances are it's not going to be because I'm still in decent shape and relatively young. I'm sure that there'll be more upcoming down the road, but you have to say that to yourself and appreciate it. Birthdays that are missing from last week, March 20th, Ring of Honor star Matt Taven turned 29, and Taven recently won the 2013 Top Prospect Tournament and went on to be saddled by heel manager Truth Martini and his entourage of women known as Hoopa Hotties during his Ring of Honor TV Championship run. Happy birthday, belated birthday goes to Homicide, aka real name Nelson Rodriguez Arezzo, turned 37. Homicide was most recently been teaming with Eddie Kingston in Ring of Honor as Outlaw Inc., where they have feuded with Red Dragon for the tag title. And the late Big John Studd would have been 47. AKA John Minton died on the date on 1995 at the age of 47 from liver cancer and Hodgkin's disease. Studd had crossed over appeal during the Rock and Wrestling WWF days, appearing in several feature films and high-profile TV shows. He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2004. Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper appeared at the Mad Monster Party event at the University Place Hilton in Charlotte, North Carolina on this past Sunday. The event was moderated by WWE Hall of Famer Mean Gene Okerlund. Following were the highlights of the Q&A sent in courtesy of Dan Fields. Okerlund referenced to Liberace appearing at the original WrestleMania. Hogan cracked the bet the celebrity was brought in by Pat Patterson. And then Okerlund responded by saying that he didn't bring him out. Mr. T being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame came up. Piper sarcastically said he would love to induct him, then called him an asshole. Hogan talked about predicting the business back in the original WrestleMania days due to so many entertainers coming in due to the MVT crossover. Piper told several fabulous Moolah stories, and Piper said that he considered Moolah like a mother to him and said she beat the hell out of Wendy Richter back in the day. Hogan didn't seem to have a problem with that, and the fans chanted Moolah's name. Okerlund said it's better than the Borgasm, yes, shit, that Daniel Bryan gets, and Hogan and Piper both nodded in agreement. Okerlund mentioned Cyndi Lauper. Hogan said he'd never exchanged more than 20 words with her in his life. He said that she was more of a Piper fan in real life. Someone asked about Hogan, the Hogan energy drink. Hogan cracked, he used it to get through his divorce, along with vodka. He claimed that companies like Coke and Pepsi wouldn't allow him to purchase more aluminum cans for distribution. And the autograph signing that followed that event, Okerlund alluded that to the fans that Scott Hall would be going into the Hall of Fame. And if you just missed it on Raw, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. And will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Hall of Famer Jimmy Hart was at the event and did not appear at the Q&A. Reality TV star and pro wrestling manager Johnny Fairplay was also spotted at the event wearing a Jimmy Hart type suit, and former WWE diva Stacy Keibler confirmed reports that she is pregnant. Keibler released a photo on Instagram, which I will post a link on this past Monday, with a caption that reads, "Look what we've got cooking, a bundle of love." Again, you can view the photos at the link. And that thanks to .NET member Patricia Peralta. The bun in the photo looks like it might be one of those onion top buns like Arby uses for their beef and cheddar sandwiches. Anyone else hungry? Congrats to Stacey and her new husband, Jared Pobre. Scott Hall will be announced as the latest and likely final member of the 2014. But yet there's still one more Raw before WrestleMania. And the Hall of Fame class on the show. According to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, Johnson also noted that the members of the clique are expected to serve as Razor Ramon's presenters. So that's the character that he's going into the Hall of Fame under. As Hall teased the possibility of his induction on February 14th, when he noted that he was verified by Twitter on the same day as Jake Roberts and Lita, who had already been revealed as 2014 Hall of Famers. Who's Slamming Who interview with Sam Houston, who was related to Jake the Snake Roberts, hosted by Tommy Fierro, also available on Stitcher, VOC Nation Radio Network. Follow them on Twitter at Woke Nation, VOC Nation. Also available on WokeNation.com. Every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. I don't know if that's Eastern Standard Time or Central Time. Any comments on Jake Roberts being inducted into the Hall of Fame? It was earned. I'm so happy that my brother finally got it. It's something that should have happened a long time ago, probably a long time ago. I can understand both sides of the story, but it should have happened a long time ago when I was in WWF. He was like the number 3 guy on top. It was Hogan, Savage, and Jake. He's my brother, and yes, I may be biased, but the guy is phenomenal. He is a mind like no other for his wrestling business. No matter what any problems he had, this, that, or the other, that you might travel through on your journey, you still need your props, still deserve your respect on his own highs and lows. One night I came back from the ring, and Paul Ellering was sitting there. He was watching my match through the curtain. I come up the steps, and he goes, "Sam, do you know why I love watching your matches?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Because you go that one step further. I lost that somewhere along the way. I don't know if I got lost in my addiction after I got injured. I lost that somewhere along the way, and I became complacent. I became comfortable with just doing enough to get by. It took those years of incarceration that I spent to get that back in myself." Gorgeous George, who was born on March 24th, 1915, the Hall of Famer died on December 26, 1963, suffered a heart attack and died 2 days later. His former wife, Betty Wagner, accepted his Hall of Fame honor on his behalf in 2010. Don the Spoiler Jardine was born on March 24, 1940, died December 21st, 2006, due to complications from a heart attack and leukemia. He was one of the most influential big men of his era, and he also trained The Undertaker. In fact, the duo actually shared a birthday. WWF wrestler Jack Swagger, real name Jack Hager Jr., turned 32 years old, born March 24, 1982. Christopher Daniels turned 43 years old, born March 24, 1971. Daniels told in an interview last year that his contract expires in 2014. I believe it actually expires next month. The wrestler Orlando Colon, that's Fernando of the Los Matadors, turned 32 years old. He was born March 24th, 1982. Happy birthday, Barry Horowitz, the winner, longtime WWF wrestler, former WWF wrestler, turned 54. He was born March 24, 1960. Travis Tomko turned 38 on this past Sunday. He was born March 23rd. Former WWE TNA wrestler struggled with painkiller addiction and led to his arrest in 2011. Former WWE wrestler Terry Ray Gordy Jr. turned 35 on Sunday. He was born March 23rd, 1979. Gordy wrestled as Jesse and Slam Master Jay in WWE. TNA wrestler Kevin Northcutt turned 41 on Sunday. Northcutt worked as a member of the Red Shirt Security and had a run with the NWA tag titles. He was born March 23rd, 1973. Retired pro wrestler Wayne Bloom turned 56 on Saturday. He teamed with Mike Enos as his instructor Q at AWA, and then later on Beverly Brothers in WWF. Retired from wrestling in 1999, and last checking, he was working as a prison guard in Stillwater, Minnesota. The dark match before the TV tapings in Boston saw Alexander Rusev defeat Xavier Woods by submission, but that was incorrect because it was later to be done with dark match from the main event was Cesaro defeating Kofi Kingston with Cesaro swing and a neutralizer. WWE's website notes that Christian was pulled from the Intercontinental title match on the main event because he suffered from a slight concussion at Raw. Thanks to Calvin for sending the last night's dark match. Well, they saw Alexander Rusev defeat Darren Young, not Xavier Woods. Pre-sale for Monday's for WWE's Money in the Bank pay-per-view is going on sale now and will end this coming Friday. Password is TDWE. Tickets are priced from $500 down to $25. This year's event takes place on June 29th at the TD Garden in Boston. The Rock held another Rock hashtag Rock Talk on Twitter this afternoon. Highlights and the premiere of the trailer. Playing Hercules, it was an honor to make Hercules movie. So damn cool to play the world's first superhero, Hercules. The hardest part of Hercules filming, the hardest part of preparing for the role was the 8 months of intense training and diet. I was a moody son of a bitch. Playing superhero for DC Comics movie, myself and DC have agreed on a character extremely complex, well known, but never played a pure badass MFer. The Rock held another hashtag Rock Talk on Twitter on Monday, and the highlights from that one. Again, the same report. And there's a link I'll post here for that. Also, on YouTube. He actually spoke on it. And I will stop the okay, tonight's Raw pre-show kicked off at the Barclays Center from Brooklyn. On the panel was Josh Matthews, Booker T, Alex Riley, and Mick Foley. And the panel hyped the show. They talked about Undertaker Lesnar feud. They talked about Daniel Bryan and Hulk Hogan. And saying that John Cena will face Luke Harper in a rematch from SmackDown on the show. Foley said that he spoke with John Cena Sr. and he was told that Cena Jr. is more worried about the match with Bray Wyatt than he has been with any WrestleMania match in the past. Then we see Summer Rae versus Emma beginning for Superstars. Fandango come out with Summer Rae, but there's no sign of Santino Marella. We get a video package of Triple H versus Daniel Bryan setting up. Renee Young backstage with Stephanie McMahon for a comment on what happened last week. Stephanie said that she will address it on Raw. She says Renee looks beautiful and walked off. And then we see R-Truth and Xavier Woods coming out for a Superstars match as well. And we get more replays from last week's Raw. We see 3MB coming backstage. One of them mocks The Undertaker and jokes with Renee before walking off. The panel talked about Undertaker versus Lesnar. More WWE Network commercials. And the panel talked about Cena versus Wyatt and Hulk Hogan's appearance on tonight's show. Coleslaw, JBL, Jerry Lawler make their way to ringside for the starting of Raw. As always, JBL and Lawler get a big pop while Coleslaw gets booed. That's it for the pre-show. And other than that, that's all the results I got from anything from the Superstars taping for the internet portion of the network for Superstars for Thursday. Okay. And Raw kicked off with a look at the feud between Daniel Bryan and Triple H. And we go right to the ring outcome. Stephanie McMahon, the mostly views. And Michael Coleslaw welcomes us to a sold-out Barclays Center, supposedly. Stephanie got booed, and she went to speak. She thanked everyone for coming and says that Daniel won't be here. She agrees with the fans on social media that what they did last week to Bryan was bad. She said they needed to send a message to everyone else that insubordination won't be tolerated. She says that they won't allow some passing fad like the Yes movement create a false leader to lead everyone in the wrong way. Stephanie continues to justify the beatdown. She said people that like the fans need to be led by someone like her. A CM Punk chant broke out momentarily as Stephanie praised Triple H and said that after he leaves Bryan Lang at WrestleMania, he will go on to become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. As Randy Orton music hits and interrupts her, and out he comes. Orton says he's not here to argue with one word, Stephanie said, or to disrespect her. Orton says that he can't be responsible for what he does to Triple H if Triple H defeats Bryan at WrestleMania. Fans chant for Bryan. Stephanie cuts Orton off and tells the fans that they can chant all they want, but Bryan isn't coming. Orton says he's going to beat both Batista and Triple H to a pulp. Orton says Stephanie should make Triple H walk away from the title match. Fans chant boring. And Batista's music hits out. He comes to another interruption with a mixed reaction. Batista says everyone is missing the point. He says he's the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Batista doesn't care if it's Orton, Bryan, or Triple H. He's walking out with the title. Batista tells everyone to deal with it. As the chant asshole comes in, and Batista is having mic trouble. Stephanie cuts him off and says that she can't hear a word he's saying, and Mike has slid into the ring and she points it out. I guess you can pick this mic up and see if you can talk on it. This creates an almost awkward moment. Batista says Triple H has never beaten him, and if he makes it to the main event, he won't beat him there either. Neither will Orton. Batista says Orton sucking up to the Authority makes him sick. Batista tells Orton to drool on her a little more. Batista says Stephanie has been drooled on before. No, she's been to the Authority. She's been drooled on a lot. Stephanie slaps him, knocking his glasses off, the sunglasses off, and pushing him backwards. But he's smiling and laughing, and Stephanie leaves the ring upset. Batista looks surprised there as well. And Batista lays Orton out with a big spear. Batista raised both titles up and leaves the ring with a smirk on his face. But drop the titles back down for Randy Orton. Afterwards, Cole will have a sit down with Triple H. Still to come, Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Machine plus Cena versus Harper advertisement. And also the Hulkster on the Stars of Sabotage with Joe Manganiello and Arnold Schwarzenegger plus The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar as we go to commercial. Christian versus Alberto Del Rio versus Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus. Fatal 4-way, back from the break and out from Christian waiting in the ring. In this match, Christian gets a concussion and gets taken out of the match on Tuesday's episode of the main event. Because he's scheduled for a title match against Big E Langston. As we see Big E watching from ringside at the announcer's table. And all four guys start coming out. Ziggler and Del Rio start off while Sheamus and Christian brawl on the floor. Del Rio worked Ziggler over and Sheamus with a battering ram into the ring on Del Rio. Ziggler rolls Sheamus up for a close 2 count. They trade shots. Sheamus with a big clothesline. Lots more back and forth action with pin attempts. All four superstars are in the ring at the same time now. Christian sends Sheamus to the floor and leaped out. Sheamus caught him and hit a big fall-away slam into the barrier. Del Rio ends up out on the floor after a drop kick from Ziggler, but more back and forth action. Ziggler sends Sheamus out and drop kicks Del Rio for a 2 count. Everyone goes down outside. Christian and Sheamus tumble into the timekeeper's area as we go back to a commercial. Back from the commercial, and Sheamus with a cross on the floor on Del Rio. There's crossbody, and Christian sends Sheamus into the ring post. Christian hits another crossbody on Ziggler in the ring for a close 2 count. Ziggler and Christian trade shots. Christian tosses Ziggler over the top to the floor. Christian turns around to a clothesline and a spear from Sheamus. Sheamus with a big running high knee and big Irish curse backbreaker. Sheamus sends Christian out to the floor. Sheamus catches Del Rio on the apron and hits the forearm to the chest. Sheamus goes to the top, but Ziggler runs up and plants his face first from the top to the mat. Ziggler with a close 2 count, and the crowd pops. Ziggler mounts Christian in the corner. Ziggler gets a neck breaker. Ziggler ducks a kick from Del Rio and nails zigzag for a close 2 count. Christian drops Ziggler from behind and nails a sit-down powerbomb for a 2 count as Del Rio broke the pin. Sheamus breaks Del Rio's pin. Sheamus struggles, but finally gets the clover leaf applied on Del Rio. Christian comes in and breaks the hold. Sheamus with a power slam on Christian. Del Rio drops a brogue kick. Stops a brogue kick and applies a cross arm breaker on Sheamus. Momentarily, Sheamus broke out of it and Ziggler nails a zigzag. Christian nails a kill switch on Ziggler for the win and a title shot. And the winner from that match got the title shot. Well, that was a waste because Christian got injured. Concussion. Wyatt family appeared on the big screen. Bray Wyatt cut a promo on John Cena. Bray asked Cena, what could he possibly do to someone that doesn't feel anything? Luke Harper says they're coming to find Cena. Bray tells him to run, and that's it. Back to commercial. Back for a great break, and we get Scooby-Doo in the mystery van coming down. And just like in the movie, the cartoon movie, Scooby-Doo is with Sin Cara. Sin Cara coming out of the van, and he's going against Damien Sandow. The mystery machine pulls up beside the stage. Out comes Sin Cara, Scooby-Doo. Cara does his entrance as Scooby-Doo cheers him. Damien Sandow waits in the ring, and they go right at it. And Cara with a lot of offense and counters early on. Cara with a 2 count as CM Punk chant starts. And Cara drops Sandow and goes for the top for the big swanton for the quick win. After the match, Cara and Scooby-Doo celebrate at ringside, and that's it. A recap of Kane ordering a beatdown on the Shield from SmackDown last week. Recap. Ryback Soul versus Los Matadors. Back for the break, and both teams are already waiting in the ring. Back and forth to start the match. Something happens in the crowd, and we see the Shield coming through. This leads to Matadors rolling up Axel for the win, as he was distracted. There's Matadors rolling up Axel for the win. After the match, the Shield surrounds the ring with Ryback and Axel inside. Roman Reigns pulls Axel to the floor, while Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose beat down Ryback. Reigns tosses Axel into the barrier. Reigns enters the ring and nails a huge spear on Ryback. They lift him up and drop him into a triple power bomb. Still to come segment, Hogan and the Stars of Sabotage. Also Cole sit down with Triple H as we go back to a commercial. Back for the break, and already in the ring set up for the interview with a black apron cover and 2 chairs as Michael Cole bringing in Triple H. This will replace their weekly WWE interview. Cole shows us what happened last week with Triple H and Daniel Bryan. And Triple H starts off with the usual and brings up the yes movement. He says Bryan put the fans in harm's way. Triple H says he told Bryan over and over that he wasn't going to fight. But Triple H says they forced his hand and made him become a competitor. And then he also says that the fans got what they asked for and Bryan got what he deserved. An asshole chant broke out for Triple H. And Triple H said he's used to stand in this ring and know despicable things to people. And he would see the same lust for success in fans' eyes. He looks out now and sees apathy, soft, pathetic, and a bunch of little people with no power and no desire. Triple H mocks the fans for crying. He tells them to send a tweet and voice their displeasure. Triple H says he's sick of the whole thing. The world has changed and he can't take it anymore. Triple H says maybe it's on him to stop this. Maybe he starts the reality era right now. Triple H says it again, the start of the reality era. He says the reality is this. He ends Daniel Bryan's supposed little run at the top. He ends the pathetic yes movement and wins the WWE World Heavyweight title. And then ends the segment with and says he has power to make it happen and everyone knows it's true. And then drops the mic and leaves. Still to come segment again. Cena versus Harper. Also taking Lesnar back to commercial. Fandango versus Cody Rhodes was up next. We came back from commercial and looked at Fandango versus Goldust from last week. Fandango and Summer Rae are dancing in the ring. And comes next to Cody Rhodes and Goldust. Back and forth to start. Summer and Goldust end up having a dance off at ringside. Summer falls and hurt her ankle. That distracted Fandango, leading to a disaster kick for Cody for the win. We get a preview for Sabotage. Back from the break, and out comes Hulk Hogan to a big pop. Hogan takes the mic and fans chant his name. Hogan hikes to WrestleMania 30 before bringing out Arnold Schwarzenegger and Joe Manganiello. Arnold says it's wonderful to be back in WWE. with a botch spot. Because he almost went on to his normal, I'm back. I'll be back. I'm back. Fans chant his name. Arnold brings up inducting Bruno Sammartino into Hall of Fame. Arnold calls Hogan a hero of this. Arnold says Hogan is the real deal. Arnold introduces his co-star, who actually got a few boos. Manganiello is excited to be hosting Raw. Manganiello praises Arnold and Hogan. Arnold brings up the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Arnold says that they were good friends. Arnold asks if Hogan has room for Manganiello in the Battle Royal. The Miz interrupts and out he comes. The Miz puts himself over and has words with Hogan. Miz interrupts and says the actors don't belong here and neither does Hogan. Manganiello steps in front of the Miz and tells Miz to make them leave. Manganiello shoves Miz. Miz turns around but tries to swing. Manganiello blocks it and decks him. Arnold hits Miz into Hogan, who tosses Miz over the top rope. Arnold, Manganiello, and Hogan poses the real American plays music. Still to come segment, again, Taker Lesnar, back to commercial. Titus O'Neil versus Big Show is up next. Squash match. Back from the break, Titus O'Neil waits in the ring as Big Show makes his way out. So takes Titus in the corner and starts beating on him. Show with a big chop. And then another. Show runs into a big boot and Titus takes his knee out. Titus with a big offense. Titus with a big leg drop and a 2 count. It's only offense and Titus gets his 2 shots in the corner and a splash. And then another splash and a loud CM Punk chant starts up. Titus then takes Show off his feet with a shoulder tackle for a 2 count. Back and forth action for about a moment. Show turns it around and gets the win with a knockout punch. The WMD. Triple H and Stephanie backstage when the Shield walk in. They want to know where they stand after what happened on SmackDown. Triple H says that that's between them and Kane and the New Age Outlaws. Stephanie gives them real Americans a match tonight, and they will sit down and discuss. Reigns says yes they will. Believe that. Triple H stares at him, and the Shield leaves. Cena is shown backstage in a bathroom, and the crowd starts booing. Cena is washing his face and thinks he sees something, but turns around and he's just paranoid as we go to commercial. Luke Harper versus John Cena was up next. Back from the break, and out comes Cena to a mixed reaction. Wyatt family was out next. Eric Rowan and Bray Wyatt watch from the bottom of the ramp as Luke Harper hits the ring. Harper takes Cena down with a big elbow and works him over in the corner. Harper whips Cena hard into the corner and he goes down. Fans chant for Harper as he beats down Cena in the corner. Cena fought back and fans booed him. Harper ran over Cena and they pop up. And Harper with a big slam for a 2 count. Harper kept control as we go to another commercial. Back from the break, Cena breaks free and hits a shoulder tackle. Harper caught him in an inverted atomic drop and a big boot for another 2 count. Harper got a big uppercut and then another. Then Cena dodges another uppercut and hits him back. Side suplex. Harper slid out with an attitude adjustment and nails a big super kick to the face for another 2 count. Cena blocked the clothesline and slammed Harper. Fans boo as Cena calls for the 5 moves of doom shuffle. Harper blocked it with a kick and slammed Cena for 2 counts. Cena blocked the powerbomb with a hurricane rana. Cena with a drop toe hold. Then Harper kicked Cena out of the ring and nailed the suicide dive through the ropes. They came back in and Cena applied the SCF. Harper broke it with a finger to the eye and nailed the big DDT for a 2 count. Harper worked over Cena in the corner. Harper climbed up for a big slam, but Cena fought him off. Cena knocked Harper to the mat. Cena climbed up and nailed a big leg drop for a 2 count. Cena with a big slam and 5 knuckle shuffle again as the fans booed. Harper slid out of the attitude adjustment and slammed Cena on his face. Harper with a 2 count. Cena with a big clothesline out of the corner, and Cena goes for attitude adjustment. The lights go out. Then we hear commotion in the ring. Lights come back on, and Cena's arms were tied up in the ropes as he has a sheep mask on. Wyatt family are in his face. Brady talks trash and says to follow the buzzards as the fans chant, "This is awesome!" As we go to commercial. Back to the break, we see what just happened to Cena. We play Naomi versus AJ Lee. We go to the ring. Out comes Naomi with Cameron. Naomi is still wearing her eye patch. Out next comes the WWE Divas Champion with Tamina Snuka. This is a non-title match. Bell rings. AJ mocks Naomi's eye. Naomi responds with 2 drop kicks. AJ runs into a big kick. Naomi comes back from the apron AJ dodges a rear view and goes to the floor to take a breather. AJ says she doesn't need this. She grabs her title from Tamina and skips away with it. Winner by count out, Naomi. After the match, AJ stops with Tamina on the ramp and taunts Naomi. Vicky Guerrero comes out to the stage and announces her invention of her own Vicky Guerrero Divas Championship Invitational against Naomi, Cameron, Brie Bella, Vicky Bella, Natalia, Eva Marie, Emma, Oksana, Alicia Fox, Stella Ray, Rosa Mendez, and the returning Layla and Tamina for WrestleMania 30. Tamina had a little glare on her face. They stared at her, and AJ just stomped away, looking pissed off. The rest of the Divas join Vicky on the stage, and Tamina laughs. AJ throws a fit and go back to commercial. Back from the break, we get Razor Ramon's Hall of Fame video induction. There was no mention of Scott Hall or the NWO days. We can look back at tonight's opening segment with Stephanie slapping Batista. Orton versus Batista is announced for next week. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. The Shield versus Real Americans. Swagger and Cesaro go to the ring. Out comes the Shield through the crowd. Go to commercial. Back for the break. Out comes Swagger. Cesaro with Zeb Coulter. The Shield meets them on the ramp. And they start brawling. Fans chant, "We the people," as the bell rings. And it's Cesaro going at it with Ambrose in the corner. Back and forth. Beat down from the two. Rollins tags in for a double team and a 2 count. Cesaro fights off Cesaro fought off. For a break as Swagger tags in for some double teaming. But Rollins fights them both off. And drops Swagger with a big suplex. Rollins with a pair of suplexes. And they tag to Ambrose for a third. Ambrose gets a 2 count. Rollins tags in for some double teaming and keeps Swagger in their corner. Ambrose got the tag back in. Ambrose kept Swagger grounded. Swagger with a big scoop slam out of nowhere. Cesaro tagged into a big pop. Cesaro with uppercuts on Ambrose. Cesaro with a stomp and on Ambrose for a 2 count. More offense and double teaming from the Real Americans for a 2 count. Cesaro with a headlock and another slam on Ambrose and a tag to Swagger. Swagger comes in with stomps but misses a Swagger bomb. Ambrose with a springboard elbow. Cesaro tagged in. He knocked Rollins off the apron. Ambrose backdropped Cesaro, but got rolled up. Cesaro turned it into a Cesaro swing on Ambrose. Cesaro gets a 2 count from the big swing. Swagger and Cesaro swing Ambrose into the fan barrier as they go to commercial. Back for the break. Cesaro has Ambrose grounded in the center of the ring. Ambrose with a big slide for 2. Cesaro kicks his knee out and slapped him. Ambrose smacks himself and tells Cesaro to hit him some more. Ambrose fires back, but Cesaro does too. Ambrose nails a big clothesline. Rollins and Swagger tag in, and they go at it. Rollins unloads with some chops and kicks. Rollins got with a boot in the air, and Rollins with a splash across the ring, and a face first drop into the turnbuckle for 2. Cesaro gets dumped out to the floor. Rollins sends Swagger out next. Rollins dove out on Cesaro, ran back in the ring, and leaped on the other side to hit Swagger. The crowd popped big for Rollins, and a big holy shit chant broke out. Rollins with a big boot to the head of Swagger, but Cesaro broke the pin. Ambrose ball with Cesaro. Cesaro suplexes Ambrose over the top rope. Rollins sends Cesaro to the floor. Swagger with a Patriot lock on Rollins, but he makes it to the bottom rope. More back and forth as Rollins gets a kick to the face and piece of mind for the win. With Superman punch, I guess, is called a piece of mind. So the Shield won. After Bell Cesaro laid out Rollins from behind and sent him to the floor. Cesaro turned around into a big Superman punch from Reigns. Cesaro goes to the floor. Reigns turns around and spears Cesaro on the floor. Rollins and Ambrose take part in the announcer's table. They triple powerbomb Cesaro through the table. The Shield celebrated in the ring until the stage exploded. And out come Kane with the New Age Outlaws, all in suits. Corporate Kane and Corporate Outlaws. Kane booked the Shield versus himself and the Outlaws for WrestleMania 30. Kane says that they are going to annihilate the Shield. And then we get Paul Heyman up next and Brock Lesnar walking backstage as they go to commercial. Back for the break, and they're going to the ring. Heyman introduces them and starts talking about Undertaker's streak. Heyman says when Lesnar ends the streak at WrestleMania, it won't take away from how phenomenal the streak has been. Heyman says no superstar, including Lesnar, will ever be able to win 21 straight times at WrestleMania. Heyman goes on and Lesnar snatches the mic. Lesnar says enough. He's not here to provoke. He's here to fight. Lesnar calls the Undertaker out and says, let's do this. Lesnar tosses the mic. Lights go out and the Druid music starts. Carrying out the double deep, double wide casket. About a dozen Druids come out carrying the casket. They place it at ringside. Of course, Undertaker's not in the casket. He's underneath it. Slides into the ring. Of course, they place it at ringside and they walk away. Lesnar stomps on the casket. While the Druid music is still playing, music stops and Lesnar lifts the casket lid. It's empty. Lesnar asks if it's some kind of joke. Lesnar goes out of the ring and starts talking trash to the Druids. They start walking to the back. Lesnar goes back to the casket and slams the lid. Fair chant for the Undertaker. Lesnar says he's not here to play games and he's leaving. Heyman says this is exactly the game Taker wants Lesnar to play. Taker's music hits and he stares down Heyman and Lesnar as they look on from the stage. As Raw goes off the air, Raw backstage pass. Post-show ends up with a panel talking about what happened at the end of Raw. We see the Undertaker still in the ring. Taker stops and stares at the casket before heading up the ramp. Taker stops and looks back at the crowd before raising his fist in the air. Then returning to the back. Then the panel goes back for more discussions. Renee Young catches up with Heyman and Lesnar backstage. They are in no mood for questions. Renee asks if Taker has gotten into Lesnar's head. Lesnar says he's here for one reason and one reason only. The only thing that's in his head is to eat, sleep, and break the streak. Of course, he's got a new t-shirt as well. Lesnar walks off and Heyman creeps on Renee. We go back to the panel. Foley says that the last few weeks of Raw have been tremendous. Matthews asks if Lesnar can beat the streak. And they talk about Cena versus Wyatt now. They get more hype for Cena, Wyatt, and some WWE Network commercials. We get another look at Stephanie slapping Batista earlier. We get another look back at Cole's interview with Triple H. Panel then talks about Daniel Bryan versus Triple H. And Matthews plugs tomorrow the main event with Christian versus Big E. Of course, Christian will take it out due to the concussion for the Intercontinental title. And he's replaced. And you'll see that in the next video. We got another look at Taker making his exit and that was it for the post show. As seen on Raw in the opening segment, Batista also ripped the seat of his pants when he laid Orton out. He later tweeted about the wardrobe malfunction saying, "Thank God I wore my good underwear tonight. They weren't even my tight jeans. Shades of the Deacon," unquote. Vicky Guerrero, of course, announced the Vicky Guerrero Divas Championship Invitational for WrestleMania 30 with AJ Lee defending against Naomi Cameron, Brie, Nikki, Natalia, Eva Marie, Emma, Oksana, Alicia Fox, Summer Rae, and Rosa Mendez, Layla, and Tamina. Bray Wyatt vs. Big Show has been announced for Friday SmackDown. And Orton vs. Batista in a non-title match has been announced for next week's Raw from Batista's hometown, Washington, D.C. And that will be it for this week's Raw and Superstars. And thanks for viewing. Peace out.